Hi everyone, I'm Rachel from Rachel Tutors English Online, and today I'm going to continue our series of videos talking about how to include quotations into your writing to use as textual evidence. Today we're specifically going to talk about how to add quotation sandwiches into full-length paragraphs. And I'm going to draw upon the examples that I used in my first two videos on quotation sandwiches. So if you haven't watched those videos, please pause this one and go and watch those two videos first. Our first example was from The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, so let's go take a look at that prompt. First, let's recall the quotation sandwich that we created for this prompt in my very first video about quotation sandwiches. The prompt was describe Gretel from The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and the quotation sandwich read, Gretel is selfish. During a conversation between Gretel and Maria, when Gretel wants to take a bath, the text states, well, don't be long, said Gretel rudely, because unlike Bruno, she never stopped to think about the fact that Maria was a person with feelings just like hers. This shows that Gretel is more focused on her own needs and her own timeline than on Maria and her many responsibilities. So the idea is that a full-length paragraph would unpack this prompt even further than just this quotation sandwich. So we want to start with a topic sentence that addresses more of the question than what this quotation sandwich has addressed. So if I were to turn this into a full paragraph and I wanted to give a better picture of the type of person Gretel is, my topic sentence might say something like, Gretel is selfish, unkind, and blunt. Now I'm going to add a sentence that will lead us to looking specifically at the quotation and the quotation sandwich that I've created for this prompt. This means going from my topic sentence into a sentence that will set up the idea that Gretel is selfish. So I added the sentence, first, the way that Gretel treats her family's maid Maria shows that she cares only about herself. And this is what I do in order to set up the rest of the quotation sandwich, which I can now simply add in. And to finish this paragraph, I would then discuss ways in which she shows that she's unkind and blunt, and follow that up with a concluding sentence. Now let's follow the same process and apply it to the other two examples that I shared with you in my last video. Here was the prompt from The Hunger Games. How does Katniss demonstrate bravery in the Hunger Games? And this was what the quotation sandwich said. Katniss demonstrates bravery in the Hunger Games when she risks her life in order to escape from the careers. After Rue points out the Tracker Jacker nest above her and she decides to use it to attack the careers, Katniss thinks, if I don't get through this branch in a matter of seconds, the entire swarm could emerge and attack me. I take a deep breath, grip the knife handle, and bear down as hard as I can. This suggests Katniss acts bravely because she chooses to cut down the wasp nest as a way to fight the careers, even though there's a chance she could die in the process. So again, first, I want to answer the prompt with a more general topic sentence. So I could start with, Katniss demonstrates bravery in the Hunger Games in several ways. And now I'm going to introduce the first way that's related to the quotation sandwich. So I want to add a sentence starting with a transitional phrase into my first example, and I'm going to write something that connects the topic sentence to my quotation sandwich. Firstly, she risks her life in order to escape the careers. So I chose to use the word firstly as my transition into my first example, and now I simply add the rest of the quotation sandwich. And this would be followed by other examples of how Katniss demonstrates bravery and would be followed up by a concluding sentence. Now let's take a look at the prompt from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. What is one theme in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone? And this was our quotation sandwich. One theme in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is friendship. Ron and Hermione are always there for Harry, including the time when Harry decides he needs to get to the stone. But will it cover all three of us? Said Ron. All three of us? Oh, come off it. You don't think we'd let you go alone? "Of course not," said Hermione briskly. This shows that even though going after the stone could be dangerous and get them expelled, Ron and Hermione refused to leave Harry, knowing he could use their help. Now, I'm going to keep the topic sentence the same because I can simply add other examples of friendship after it. So I'm simply rewriting the topic sentence that I had before. One theme in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is friendship. And now I'm going to add a sentence that introduces Harry's friendship with Ron and Hermione as my first example. So I said one example of friendship seen in the story is the friendship Harry has with Ron and Hermione. So I used the phrase "one example of" and then continued with the information that I had in the quotation sandwich. And now I simply add in the rest of the quotation sandwich. This would be followed up by at least one other example of friendship that shows up in the book, and that would be followed by a concluding sentence. I hope you now have a better understanding of how to add quotation sandwiches into full-length paragraphs. Stay tuned for my next video when we will discuss other ways to add textual evidence into a paragraph besides using quotations. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a like. And if you would like to stay informed on future videos addressing writing, specifically persuasive writing, and using textual evidence to support your reasoning, then click on that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.